we applied a little of the Pythagorean theorem. The day before that we learned what it was. Okay? So today we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem to solve for distances and measurements on houses, buildings, or other things that you might use in the real world. Okay, so let's read what this says. You can use the Pythagorean theorem to find lengths of objects that have rectangular or right triangle shapes. Okay, example. Marcia has a rectangular scarf that measures 36 inches by 48 inches. So she has a rectangle scarf like this. Scarf, like you put around your neck. Okay. She has a rectangular scarf that measures, it says 48 by 36. Okay. She folds it along the diagonal, make it a right triangle. So she folds it like this, and she wants to know how long this is. Well, we know this is 36, right? And that's 48, so I can say this squared plus this squared equals c squared, can't I? So we've got 36 squared plus 48 squared, and we're using that to find what c squared is, so we'll write equals c squared. Now it says 36 squared is 1,296, and 48 squared is 2,304. When you add those up, you get 3,600 equals c squared. Now when you take the square root of both sides, this side c is going to equal 60. Okay. That's the hypotenuse, so you have to notice that since it's the biggest side, it's going to be bigger than 48 or 36. Right? And here's the right angle. 36 and 48, the sides are called what, Levi? Anna? Legs. Good. This and this are legs, and what's C called, Anna? Yeah, what is it? C is the hypotenuse. Good, Levi. Alright, on this problem, they give us, it says determine the length of the second leg of a right triangle. So here they give you one leg and the hypotenuse. So your triangle might look like this, and this leg is 40, the hypotenuse is 50, but they want to know what B is, what the other leg is. So how do we find that? Somebody help me.
Squared.
40 squared plus
50.
A squared plus B squared equals C squared. 40 squared, so let's write it. 40 squared plus B squared is going to equal what? 50 squared. Remember the hypotenuse is C, and it always comes last. Well, in this case, they give you the hypotenuse and a leg, you got to find the other leg. So we've got 40 squared plus B squared equals 50 squared. What's 40 squared? 1,600. And that equals, I'm sorry, and that's plus B squared equals what? What's 50 squared? 2,500. And now, we got to do what to get B by itself?
Subtract.
Good. We're going to subtract 1,600 from both sides, and that leaves us, what's 2,500 minus 1,600?
900.
So we got B squared equals 900. B squared equals 900. Now, what do I do from here, Anna? What do I do from here? Savannah? Square root what? Say both sides. What do I do, Anna? Take the square root of both sides, so B is going to equal what? 30. So they told us that one leg was 40 and the hypotenuse was 50, so that means the other leg is 30. Alright, it says a tabletop is 3 feet by 4 feet. So let's draw us a tabletop up here. There's us a tabletop. Okay. And it says it's 3 feet by 4 feet. Now this is how they measure TVs too. When they tell you got a 20-inch TV, it doesn't mean it's 20 inches up or 20 inches across. It means it's 20 inches from the bottom left to the top right, the diagonal. So they're doing the same thing here. They want us to draw a diagonal. Now they want you to tell how long that diagonal is. So you're going to tell how far it is from this point to this point. Okay? Now, we've got this leg of the triangle. What's this one? 3. If this is 3, this is also 3, isn't it? Okay, what do we not know? The hypotenuse, which is C. So what formula do we use to find the hypotenuse? Well, so A squared plus B squared equals C squared, the Pythagorean theorem. So let's write that real quick just in case anyone's forgot. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. This is supposed to be equal. So our A is our smallest number, our B is our medium number, and our C is always the hypotenuse. So I've got 3 squared plus 4 squared equals C squared. Y'all remember doing this? What's 3 squared? 9. Plus 4 squared is 16, and that's going to be C squared. 16 plus 9 is 25, which equals C squared. Now, Anna, how do I solve for C here? Take the square root of both sides. So C equals what? 5. C equals 5. So what is it? What's our hypotenuse of the diagonal of our table? 5 what? What's it say right there? Alright, so we've got this triangle, and we need to find out what the hypotenuse is. They call it x. So we're going to say 6 squared plus 10 squared equals x squared, right?
Yeah.
Right? So I've got 6 squared plus 10 squared equals x squared. Now guys, remember, because this is the right angle, these two legs make the right angle, or these two sides make the right angle, that makes them both the legs. And remember, the hypotenuse is always opposite the 90-degree angle. Okay? 6 squared is 36. 100 or 10 squared is 100. 100 plus 36 is 136. So now we take, and that equals x squared. Now, Anna, how do I solve that? So what's the square root of 136? It equals 11.6. Now, you need to recognize that the hypotenuse is always the longest side. So if you'd have said 9, would you have been correct? No. The hypotenuse is always the longest side. Let me ask you this. Can one of the legs be longer than the hypotenuse? No. Check, if the hypotenuse is always the longest side, then it's the longest side. Alright, here we got the same thing. We got this and this, but it says this is the 90-degree angle. Which means, where's the hypotenuse?
16.
16 is the hypotenuse. Remember, I just told you the hypotenuse is always opposite the 90-degree angle. Okay? So here, this is A, this is B, and that's C. So how do I set it up, Reggie?
A squared
4 squared
plus B squared
plus B squared equals what?
16 squared.
16 squared. So now 4 squared is 16 plus B squared equals, what's 16 squared? 256. Now what do I do right here, Levi? I got to get B by itself, so I need to move 16. How do I do that? Jonathan?
Subtract 16 on both sides.
What do I do, Levi?
Subtract 16 on both sides.
Subtract 16 on both sides. What's 256 minus 16? So I got B squared equals 240. Now I take the square root of both sides. What's the square root of 240? So I know B equals 15.4. And here's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you the measurement up and down, which is 39 plus 13. So 52. 52 this way. So the left side of the box is 52. So I've got 52 here, and across the top, it's 61 across the top. So now I want you to tell me how far it is diagonally, And now to do that, we're going to have this squared plus this squared equals c squared, right? So we got 52 squared plus 61 squared equals c squared. Now can you imagine why a TV company or a board company would tell you the diagonal? Because it's the longest side. They'd rather, instead of saying it's a 52 inch, they'd rather say whatever this is. Okay, now what's 52 squared?
2,740.
2,740? 4. What is 61 squared?
3,721.
Add those up, what do you get?
6,425.
6,000 what?
425.
Now take the square root of that and tell me what it is.
81.
So this board is 80.1 inches long, right? So can you imagine when they sell this board, they say it's an 80-inch board? That's better than 61 or 52, right? So that's why they choose the diagonal. All right, hold on. All right, so today we learned how to use the Pythagorean theorem in real life.